Ted Bundy was executed for the murder of a 12-year-old girl.
35 years ago, serial killer Ted Bundy was executed in the state of Florida. One woman who survived being attacked by him says she had the opportunity to bear witness, but chose to move on instead.
I had given him enough mental energy. I was not going to give him another time to face me or me face him and see him die. I know he killed so many women. And I heard that he whimpered when it was time for him to die. And he cried and he said, "Please don't kill me. Please don't kill me." And I imagine those were the words that the victim said just as he was about to kill them. All those beautiful women, they're crying, "Please don't kill me." And he did kill them, and he was electrocuted.
Kathy Kleiner Rubin was just 20 years old in 1978 when she says Bundy let himself into her sorority house at Florida State University. She says they weren't aware a serial killer was on the loose in Florida. Bundy had escaped prison in Colorado weeks earlier. Her book, A Light in the Dark, Surviving More Than Ted Bundy, details what happened that night.
The door was broken. So this person saw the door was broken, picked up a log that was by the fireplace, and went through sorority. He went upstairs, and the first room he got to was Margaret Bowman's room. He attacked her and beat her with that log that he had picked up. He then went across the hall and killed Lisa Levy with the same log that he had killed Margaret with. The next thing he did was cross the hall and come into my room.
Kathy says she was woken up when Bundy tripped over a trunk on the floor in her room, but she didn't have enough time to react when she saw him.
I look up and I see the silhouette, the shadow of someone standing next to me. And I saw him raise his arm up over his head, and he had that log, the log he killed Margaret and Lisa with, and he slammed it down on my face. He slammed it so hard that he shattered my chin, he shattered my jaw. I received cuts in my cheek that opened up, and you could see my mouth on the inside and my teeth. And all of a sudden, our room became bright. It shone a light. It was bright in the bedroom, and now I could see this person clearly. And as I stood there in the light, he saw himself, and he started getting antsy and paced back and forth. And that light was a sorority sister, was being brought home late from the nights. And that light was her boyfriend's light illuminating our bedroom. And as he turned and let her off, he turned in the driveway, and that's when the room turned dark again. And I'm still in my little ball, and I'm hurting, and it feels like knives and everything you can think of in my face. And I'm still walled up in this little ball, waiting for him to come back.
She says the headlights were enough to scare Bundy, and he ran out of the house. Despite the pain she was in, she and her roommate survived the attack. But two of her sorority sisters, Margaret Bowman and Lisa Levy, were killed. Kathy says recovery was tough, and she didn't know if she would survive the trauma she experienced. When asked to sit for a deposition, she says she was able to, but she wasn't expecting her alleged attacker to be in the room with her.
And at the end of the table, after I sat down, I looked up and there was Bundy. He was sitting at the other end of the table, and he was like, "Come on, let's get over this."
Kathy says he had the same demeanor during the 1979 trial, and she was happy with the outcome, guilty and sentenced to death. While she chose not to attend the execution, she says she was monitoring the news that day.
And as he was executed, there was a white flag that shone up above the prison. And I looked at my husband and I started crying, and I wailed. And I wasn't thinking of me. I was thinking of all the 32 women he had killed, mutilated, and taken out of this world so young. And then I thought of Margaret and Lisa, my sorority sisters. They suffered, and they shouldn't have either. And I cried for them as well.
Kathy said it was important that her book set the record straight on who Bundy really was and all of the women he took from the world.
The book itself tells a bit of my story, but mainly it focuses on telling that Bundy was not the cute guy that everyone thought he was. He wasn't smart. He wasn't good. He was just a bad person. He would kill to collect the souls of the women he killed, and he killed up to 32 that we know of. And in my book, I talk about each of the women, all 32 of them, And I tell a little bit about them, each of their loves, their dreams, what they wanted to do, things that were important to them. I wanted to bring a voice to them so that they were not forgotten.
For Inside Edition Digital, I'm Mara Montalbano.